what inspired the story of this film? The writer, an old friend of mine from high school named Colleen McVeigh. We had lost touch and recommunicated on the internet a few years ago. And I had shared some of my films with her. She's a high school English teacher. And I suggested one night that she try her hand at writing a screenplay. She said, oh, well, I wouldn't know what to write. But my grandmother used to tell me a lot of great stories about when she was a kid during the Depression. I said, well, write about that. And about 24 hours later, she sent the initial script for Mildred, and we greenlit it that week. So some of the difficulties and challenges when you're trying to shoot a period piece are going to be costumes and locations, obviously. So we immediately, I think, thought of Murfreesboro because they have so many buildings that are pre-Depression era that are still standing, that seemed like a real good likelihood. So we went and we scouted several locations in Murfreesboro, and we found a couple. And for the interiors, we really just went on Facebook, I think, initially.
Yeah.
And to a filmmakers group, the Southern Illinois Filmmakers and Actors Group, and just asked people, anybody know of any interiors that look Depression era? And we got several responses, and one of them was
the Historic Hull House.
Yeah, the Historic Hull House. And we contacted them, and they were very, very excited and happy to do it. So we were able to spend several days and nights there shooting. So definitely costumes and locations is really the hardest thing to pull off when you're doing a period piece.
Shooting outside, it was cold. It was October, November,
Yeah.
and freezing cold, and they were all in these little bitty, the girls were in these dresses that were paper thin. There was a helicopter that, for whatever reason, seemed to hover over us for what felt like half an hour.
Yeah, stayed overhead like they were spying on us.
We were shooting not a half a block away from a big ice machine. So that would go off every now and then.
That we were not aware of when we scouted the location.
So
yeah.
Definitely shooting outside during that whole scene was probably the biggest difficulty.
Yeah.
My most memorable experience was getting to shoot with my son. He's the baby. So even though he's in there for half a second, it was fun having him on there.
The pizza box was the most memorable experience for me. We set up a shot that was shooting through a doorway, and in order to get the correct angle, we couldn't close the door because the camera was in the way, and it was a static shot. We didn't want to move it. So we're trying to figure out how we're going to shut this door, and we had all just enjoyed some pizzas, and Cody said to one of the other crew members, hey, hand me that empty pizza box. And he took the pizza box and he grabbed it like this and he just slid it across the lens of the camera, and I added the sound effect of door closing, and it worked perfect. Cody, what message are you hoping to share with this film?
I don't really have a message with that one.
It's about family.
Family.
And it's about perseverance, and it's about relationships that people have during difficult times, and I think that message gets across pretty powerfully in the film.
It didn't end up being a family affair. My sister was working on set with us. The two girls are my cousins. My son was in it, so it's a lot of.
And Aunt Lisa.
Aunt Lisa.
Aunt Lisa plays the mom, who only shows up in some still photographs, but yeah. So mom, her two daughters.
Yep.
Yep. It was a Grammer family affair for sure. Easy to cast.